my only symptoms were when I had it was I was vaccinated when I got it, so I really only had like a headache and I was congested a little bit. But then a week later, because I was not taking care of myself, I started having not breathing issues, but
it wasn't even that you weren't taking care of yourself. It's just that,
I wasn't taking care of myself.
No, we're going to get onto the topic of mental health here.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready? No, I don't.
Wait. Oh my goodness. Where's my son? Are we redoing?
But yeah, I'm glad.
We've never done this again. Calby.
Now we're gonna know. We're just gonna be like, and we're back with.
And we're back with a reliable child. And God.
Hello.
Hello. We took a break.
We didn't pee.
We certainly
no one peed.
Nobody peed during this break. That's what you're fucking asking.
Yeah, this is not was not a pee break.
We don't do that.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. So, anyways, I am very excited because we were talking about this a little bit before via Instagram Messenger.
Yeah, you guys are privy to this information.
We were talking, and you have wanted to bring up mental health, and I think that that's such a great topic, and I'm really excited to
fix it.
To fix it forever.
We're gonna fix it for
fix
everybody.
It. Okay.
We're certainly not.
We're gonna. We have your answers. Call in now. Numbers below.
Yeah, that would be a good way to do
well
that. And the question is, what is the question? But yeah, I mean, I guess everybody. I mean, maybe we should make up a question. What is mental health?
What is mental health?
Mike, you tell us.
What is being mentally healthy like?
What does that mean? What does that look like?
Oh, okay. And then maybe further, how does it tie in with
and how does it tie in with being a creative mind?
Okay. All right. Let me compose myself here. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting question. Let me answer that. Okay. So the way I kind of the tie-in with my well-being and where I have my outlet, so to speak, it happens to be through music. So and it doesn't make, in some ways, it informs my sort of approach to songwriting, but it's always been this thing where I want to express something. And, if it's a love song, it's the point of it is, which lately I've been basically, writing love songs, but if it's, a song idea in and of itself, the reason that I'm writing it is to express something that I can't really put into words or verbalize that well. And it's not really a part of my day-to-day life. So in that way, it's cathartic for me. It's therapeutic to do that. So I just, in recording, I don't know, is another conversation, but recording in a studio and getting, an idea down and working on it. And that's also kind of therapy too. So in a way, the way that I take my emotional baggage and put it out there in the world is kind of through songwriting. That being said, there are other consequences of creating that I think are more detrimental to my mental health. And it's hard to just say one thing or another, but the esteem of putting myself out there sometimes, I mean, I think that's what pop music and stuff has reiterated to us over time, that Britney Spears was not mentally well and Justin Bieber's going through some shit, and it's it's on a different level, but at the same time, I want to be the best version of myself. And sometimes putting yourself out there is scary, I guess. Yeah. And to be so in that sense, whatever a song I create and put out there is going to be interpreted the way it is. But for me, the reason I'm doing it is like a therapeutic thing. But at the same time, yeah, it's scary to kind of pitch songs to people and then get feedback that's not positive, or look for opportunities and have them kind of fall through, or maybe I'm going out on, I'm single, ladies, but whatever. I
He's
try to
single. I'm gonna put your personal phone number in the notes.
okay, great.
What is the number?
No, we'll ask it afterwards. Maybe.
My relationships have suffered because of my interest in music, and I don't know if it's just like another thing that people can maybe relate to out there, is that it's all consuming for me sometimes. Like I put all this energy into it, and then I'm thinking, well, what the fuck, like, why, what is the question of why am I doing this, and what I've arrived at. Okay, and then there's all these emotional consequences of that. It's like I don't feel great. I feel like I should be doing this or that or the other. And sometimes my esteem kind of takes a hit on that, and I cope with it in various ways, like that I'm trying to manage and be balanced personally, with drinking and substances and things like that. But all that being said, the idea to put something out into the world that is almost like a personal thing and have a lot of people hear it, I think is cool for me, because I found that it will bring people into my life that should be into my life, like people that care about my music, and even like family, friends and family. Like this whole pandemic of being isolated from people, I've settled on like 3 or 4 people that I talk to a lot. But I want to expand that, because it really started out as maybe one person. Shout out to A Money, who's maybe listening to this.
A Money. Is this the Adam?
Adam, yeah. A Money.
What's your last name, Adam? I guess
it's Morelli is his last name.
All right, Adam. Shout out Adam Morelli. Thank you for being such a good friend.
But I don't know. I don't know if that's a good interpretation of mental health and well-being, but yeah, being open, communicating, and expressing to anybody listening, expressing your ideas to their absolute fullest it seems risky. There's a lot of, it makes me feel uneasy sometimes, but in the way that the comeback is, I think it enriches my life in a way that money doesn't do and material things don't do. And in some cases, maybe having a stable relationship hasn't done. I've kind of been on this journey of, trying to figure out for myself what I like to do and how to have that puzzle piece fit into the real world. And I don't know, I've been sad a lot.
I so feel the same way.
I would categorize mine as just generalized sadness, but I'm getting better. I'm optimistic.
Yeah, are you? I mean, with I know I've been sad a long time. I've been sad a long time. 22 years of sad. So
He's only 23 years old.
and I'm only 20 years old. Exactly right. That's my age. But no, like it sucks and life is hard and depression is real, and it's not something you can just be like, I'm over it. It's like, no, you can't. It's so much work. The thing is, like, you have your job to work at, you have music that you want to pour yourself into, and you also have to work on yourself to get to a point where you can, and it's just as important to do that, because you're not going, like, the thing that sucks about mental illness, in my opinion, is that it's not like I'm going to take this pill and it's fine. Like, there are pills you can take that maybe control it and make it better, but it doesn't go away. And it's something that you need to continue to work on for the rest of your life. And it's so important, because, maybe you're at one spot and maybe it's not going to go away, but if you keep working towards what you want,
Mhm.
you're gonna just see vast improvement. And it is. It's just like
you have to manage it.
you have to manage it.
Like you have to treat it every day, and like, you know, every hour, every day, and think about different, you know. And with music, it's funny, like you were saying about, like, you know, putting yourself out there. And there's two different ways people do performance and writing. One is, you know, putting yourself out there, like almost like being naked, which is, you know, like super, like, you know, like, hey, this is me in front of everybody. The other way is being split.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, we're like, and that's why where I'm always split, but like, you know, like where you're like, you're a different person on stage than you're not when you're not.
And I think most people,
Are, but like you're like, but like there's people, like, you know, who bear it all, and there's people who are like, who split their own personality to be on stage. This is who I am here, and then I'm not when I'm you know, when I'm at home or whatever else. And both ways lead to different, you know, issues as far as, like, you know, as you know, you possibly have being a musician and putting yourself out there in a way people don't.
Yeah, it's even like what you're saying. It's even if I'm saying this is me, this is my thoughts. In a way, it is for the sake of entertainment. I mean, I don't want to embellish it too much, but you're right. Like it's the whole maybe David Bowie's thing in a way is like you invent ways to be a live performer. I love it. I love that. And it's like your little, I mean, it's like a vessel, you know, it's your conduit to get what you want out. And I totally get it now. For a long time, it was like, you know, why would David Bowie invent an alter ego, Ziggy Stardust? But it makes sense, you know, and that's, you see that through line with popular music. I don't know, but I always default to talking about pop music too, which I think is kind of strange. But maybe people relate to it and they understand pop music. Like if you're like, you know, talk about when Frank Ocean's going to drop his next album, I mean, maybe 6 out of 10 people would know what you're talking about.
Oh, the cool 6.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Frank Ocean is good.
I love is it called Thinking About You? I mean, it's amazing. I love when he was with Tyler the Creator and all that. I mean, this sounds like totally out of left field, but even that what's it called? Wolfgang, that the group.
I don't remember.
Well, Frank Ocean was just kind of like the soul singer, and he released this mixtape, and he did a cover of like his Coldplay song. It's called Strawberry Swing. The way the dude sings is insane. Anyway, but yeah, pop music and how, you know, putting personas to pop music. It's all pop, really. I mean, everybody's reinventing themselves in pop music anyway, to try to keep like getting bigger and better and more famous, I guess. So it's kind of this crazy circus.
Almost everything's pop music though.
Yeah, because I don't know. That's not true.
I believe it is.
Well, everybody has a different definition, but like what is popular is adjusting.
Yes.
Shifting.
Yeah. I mean, it's all the same formula is what I mean. Like, it's like we're trying to make music to people like.
Me in the center of the ring, just like a circus.
Yeah, that.
Yep.
Like we're big Halsey fans.
Big Halsey fan.
Like you heard her last record?
Oh my god.
I gotta listen to it. I don't know why. That's awesome. I'll listen to it. And I basically I have to.
Yeah, Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross did all the music.
Awesome. Okay.
It's fucking amazing.
Shout out. Did he do Old Town Road? Did Trent Reznor write or was that
Lil Nas X?
Yeah.
He contributed some parts to it and like some samples and stuff, but he didn't write it, but he was a contributor. He won he won a Grammy for it.
Wow.
The song Stem, the beginning of the song, and it sounds like it's a Trent. What at first I thought I was getting the name wrong. So it is Trent Reznor, right?
Yeah.
And he was in A Perfect Circle of Night Shows. like he does soundtracks. And Atticus Ross, is that his alter ego or is that
No,
another
Atticus
person?
Ross was in Nine Inch Nails. That's his bandmate now.
Okay.
And they do like soundtracks together. They did this Pixar Soul.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
they did a Social Network. They did a whole bunch of soundtrack stuff together, and like that's is also a co-contributor for Nine Inch Nails now. And then I guess Halsey reached out to them, and they were like, "Yeah, well, they want." I guess she wanted to do like 1 or 2 songs, and they're like, "No, we're doing the whole album."
And it's like, okay,
Yeah, right.
all right.
Like, you're not going to say no to that.
No.
And
I will check it out.
as soon as you hear that first piano hit, it's like it's like hurt.
It is. And
Nice,
it's
okay.
so like the subject matter to my specific mental health problems is so like, it
Yeah, let's talk
touches
about
on
your
it
mental
so well.
health, Jess,
Okay.
as well. I mean,
All right, I'm gonna take a nap.
Good night. So I guess, it's cool to talk about mental health, and something that I discovered recently was complex PTSD, CPTSD, which is definitely, as I'm working through things, the thing that I have. And it's great because it's like, I think that it wasn't something that people really understood before, like the prolonged trauma and abuse over years and years and years, and like what that does to the brain. And it's like very freeing to be like, this makes sense. And it's like, and this is something that's treatable. Like, I've been talking to people for forever, and just like, it's like you go through every medicine, and it's like with your literally having like the fight or flight response every moment of every day, because you don't know how to handle any situation.
Mhm.
At this
Yeah.
point. Everything is just like, you're terrified. So like, there are things that you can do and things that you can take that like help that. And it's so amazing. Like, and that's what's so important, is to like talk about it and keep looking into it and keep seeing like, these are things that can be helped if we're all on the same fucking page and talking about it. If we're
Yeah.
like gonna be like the 60s, like, I'm just gonna fucking cook this roast and smile. And
It's kind of like you sometimes you'll find the answers if you ask the right questions.
exactly. And then I think that,
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm finding, I mean, I'm not full of like revelations and whatnot, but even the distinction between what is affecting one person and another person is absolute. It's like I maybe can't even fathom what, a PSD experience would do, long term. And I maybe identify more with having, I would say some depression and managing my balance in my life.
right. And what I think is so important too is like, for nobody to be like, oh my God, but that's worse. And I can't imagine that.
Yeah, I know.
Ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, worse, I can't imagine that.
I know you feel that way about me sometimes, but I think that that's so important too, because I spent so many years, like, it's like, got hit, didn't get that hit that hard, got molested, but it wasn't the worst. Like, it's just like, you just have that like fucking mindset, like somebody else has it worse and my situation isn't that important. Like, I got over it. And it's like, no,
You didn't get over
it's not. If you're fucking thinking about it, if you're struggling, if you're having any sort of anything, it doesn't matter if you had no situation. It doesn't matter if you had the worst situation. It's not a goddamn contest. Like, everybody has one life, and you need to be able to just be really open and honest with yourself and figure out how are you going to live it the best way you can. And I think that mental health is so important, because you need to be able to reach out and talk to people and get the help you need, no matter what your circumstances are.
Yeah.
Like, if you think you need it, do it.
And I like walking away from like conversation. It's reassuring in a way to just talk about. I mean, maybe I could be more candid. I know it's tough. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what is the cause of being, you know, I don't know. The thing about me is I've avoided medication, prescribed medication for depression, and I guess anxiety too, because it wasn't for me. But at the same time, I have this kind of motor. When I interact with people, it's kind of like this. Either I'm just introverted to the point where I'd rather not talk to people.
Right.
But the silver lining or the golden nugget of all this is that in communicating as much as possible, even I don't know, some cases it's like, I don't know, what's the point of trying to explain how I feel to people, because it's maybe not, there's a tie-in with me of what it means to be strong and assertive and confident. And I've always, I don't know, like as my life has gone on, I feel like this is just a stereotype, but maybe it's true. The more overconfident somebody is, the actual less confidence they actually have.
Exactly. 1,000,000%.
And then I start to be like, well, all right, well, I don't know. I'm not trying to take over the world with my confidence. And I realize I have privilege of being who I am, you know, a white male, and having access to resources and opportunities that other people don't have. And if I said, okay, well, I'm lost sometimes, that may not make sense to people, because they're like, well, I've had friends, people, acquaintances where, I'll give you a quick example of, I was living with some friends. I was in between jobs at the time, so I didn't have a job. And it was kind of an Animal House situation. I was living with two guys, and the whole MO to living in this situation was to not really have a whole lot of responsibility. So we were, you know, drinking and partying a lot. But the funny irony to it is the younger guy, Dom, sweet guy. I haven't talked to him in a while, but he was younger, a lot at the time, still is younger than me, but very full of life and exuberant, very athletic, and wanted to become a personal trainer, and was working inner city schools. Okay. And he got wind of the fact that I have a master's degree in business, and I did at the time. I had just graduated, and he gave me like this lecture. But the funny, like, you know, power structure of it was that this is a kid that's like 10 years younger than me, or whatever, 5-6 years younger than me, saying how much of an idiot I am for not using my potential and my, you know, what I could possibly do in my position as having, you know, a degree, being who I am. And he didn't come from those same opportunities. So in a way, living in a situation that was kind of just chaotic helped me learn about, you know, myself in that instance. But I don't, I'm trying to arrive at a point, but basically, like, just because you're whoever doesn't mean that you don't suffer, you know, mental issues, you know.
Exactly. And I think that it is important to acknowledge how much privilege, you
Yeah.
know,
It's good to be vulnerable.
each of us has, and it's good to be vulnerable, and it regardless of where you're coming from, you have to be able to be like, this is how I'm feeling, you know. And I have to acknowledge this, and I have to talk about this and do what's best for me, you know. Maybe medication is the best, and maybe it's not, and maybe talk therapy is the best. There's so many options, and it's so important, because I just, like, we lose so many people from, you know, suicide, because things get so out of hand. And I've certainly thought about it a bajillion times myself, you know. Like, I get it, it feels like an answer in a moment, but regardless of what's happening with you, whether you think it's small or you think it's the biggest thing in the world, and, you know, you don't know what to do, like, you always have a resource, and you can, you know, just reach out to somebody, you know. There are free text lines, like, I've looked them up. It just, like, you're a fucking person, And life is not easy. It's weird. It's hard. We're all stuck in these goddamn boxes all day, fucking typing on our like this isn't like what life was ever supposed to be like, and it's weird and it warps your goddamn brain. I don't care what anyone else says. It's not like this is not ever what life was supposed to be like, and it's hard to just be happy. And if you're not, it's okay.
Put on a happy face.
You don't have to put on a happy face if you don't
No,
fucking
you don't
want
put on a
to.
happy face. You live your truth. You reach out if you need help, and be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Always be vulnerable.
I think if we, I mean, I don't know. It's not always about accomplishing things, but this is a very sincere way to put that out there. And I don't know. It means something to me, and it'll mean something to people listening to, you know. And I honestly, I feel like you're pulling on my, like, you know, heartstrings here. This is it's great, and I agree. I think communicating, if you put one word to it, or one, you know, approach that helps, is communicating. And sometimes that's hard for people, you know. And I don't think I'm the best communicator in the world. I'm probably pretty lousy at it. But what I like doing, it's this weird paradox, you know, writing a song, going back to songwriting, you know, is communicating.
Exactly. Yeah. It's cathartic.
Yeah. And yeah, there's so many, I mean, the pandemic thing too. I mean, there's so many instances. I mean, I spent the holidays with my family, you know, last couple of days, and it's like, and everyone's kind of in different states of unhappiness.
Mhm.
So that's depressing.
Yes,
Um,
it is, because nobody's had an easy time with this.
Yeah, this has been hell for everybody, and especially if you have, you know, problems with you know, with depression and anxiety and stuff. It's like,
It just exacerbates it, and it's so bad. And no, I mean, even if you don't, like,
I'm lucky I don't have any of those issues.
yeah, you're rock solid.
Rock solid.
I was, maybe we could segue. I don't know. I like listening to podcasts.
Yes, let's
speak-
segue.
I want to say, Joshua, like what you like, rock solid. And there's you know, Steve-O from Jackass, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He has a great podcast called Steve-O's Wild Ride. And I just kind of stumbled on it recently, but the guy that's like rock solid, he had a Mark Cuban on.
Okay.
And I'm like, how is this guy, like, how do you get to that? I mean, not that even that's something I want for myself, but to be that gung-ho and business all the time and killing it, and, you know, making a shitload of money.
Shut up. I always tell everyone they're killing it. That's
killing
my line. I'm always like,
I'm sorry.
You stole her line.
Mark Cuban is killing it.
He is killing it. And you know what? The biggest, most important thing that anybody can do, I don't give a fuck. If you're talking about, music, if you're talking about art, if you're talking about business. I have not a master's degree, a bachelor's in business. But whatever the fuck you're doing, do it every goddamn day and kill it. And it doesn't matter.
That's a good advice.
But to go back to the mental health, not yourself.
Thank you. That's awesome. I want to write that down.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Whatever you're doing every day. Wait, how'd you say it?
Whatever you're doing, no matter what you're doing, get in there every day and kill it. And
yes.
Just kill it. And you have to. And that's the only way you're gonna get
even if it's going outside and walking around the block and taking deep breaths, you're still killing it.
You are killing it, because you know what you're not doing is just laying in bed and being like, I'm not going to. You're doing it. Do whatever it is that you need to do. And sometimes it is. Sometimes you're not even getting out of the house. But if you can just get out of bed and take your breaths, just even rip open a bag of chips and just binge eat them in front of the sink and just be like, I am breathing and I am here. I'm going to kill these chips. I am waking up today and I am going to do the things I need to do. And that's huge.
I went on a shopping trip and I bought some awesome cheese.
Ooh, I love cheese.
I totally killed it. I went to Fresh Time. Have you ever been there?
I have seen it. I haven't been there.
Fresh Time's great. I don't want to overhype the expensive grocery stores, but because I always talk shit on Whole Foods. I was talking shit on Fresh Time for a long time until Adam's like, you gotta go check out Fresh Time. So yeah, goat cheese is amazing.
It is amazing. It's an acquired taste. I didn't like it initially.
I don't know, there are goats that like graze along the river in the summer. They eat all the shrubs and stuff. Goats will eat anything, right?
Right.
So why then their milk is what is used to make the cheese. So like the cheese is great. It doesn't taste like, I don't know what a goat eats, but maybe they're feeding the goats like really delicious plants or something.
Yeah, I would hope like the specific goats that are making the goat cheese aren't like, here's a boot. Here you go. No, he had to go pee again, and we already had our pee break. But speaking of podcasts that we like,
how are we on time? I mean, I'm enjoying this. This is a lot of fun.
Oh, good. Yeah, we're fine, and we're still going. I don't give a shit.
Who edits this?
Always fucking going because he always has to pee, and I'm going to tell you the story of one of my favorite podcasts, Start the Beat with Sykes. Weren't you on there?
I wasn't. I'm not gonna say I wasn't because I actually was. Sykes is awesome. He had me on a live stream. I reached out to him. I was like, hey, can I get it? But it was kind of Sykes is great. Everybody that's listening, he's but was never on the proper podcast.
Not on the proper podcast. Well, get on the proper podcast. What Joshua did on the proper podcast was it was 1 hour. It was 1 hour. He just needed to not pee for 1 hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then we didn't even know each other that well. We're in my basement and he's like, I have to pee. And he like looks at me, I have to pee. And I'm like, I don't know. You can't get around me. It's like very short. So you have to just go over there. I have like a stationary tub and that's where the stationary tub comes in because I was like, just go pee. And then it's like right next to my head and it's so loud.
And it was the longest pee of my life.
So long. And I'm just there for the podcast.
I think it was like 42 seconds or something like that.
It was longer than that. It was like longer than a minute, I think. And I'm just there. Just
oh no, the dynamic shifted when Josh left. Oh wait, no, could you hear him peeing?
Very loudly. Like you couldn't hear it on the podcast, but that's all I could hear. Like Sykes is like, and all I hear is, and I'm like, oh my fucking God, I need to like exit the situation. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I was just sitting there like, I make this stop. Help. So that's another good podcast.
Yeah, but I mean, this podcast, you can get up and pee whenever you want.
This podcast, may. That's why we had to start our own because Joshua can't handle 30 minutes without taking a piss.
That's not true. I just have to drink when I'm around people, or not around people,
or especially me. I'm an upsetting person.
She very much is.
Upsetting or upset or. Upsetting.
I upset him just with my breath.
Oh, I see. Okay.
A little bit of both.
No, yeah.
Are you trying to link again?
You like it? That's my link.
I'll interject here. So I was gonna look and I've listened to your album in pieces. I think when you first released it, I listened on Bandcamp. But that being said, I like the interplay of how you. There's a song where Jess, you kind of like just kind of talk, like tell a story, but there's a song going on. I'm sorry, this is a terrible description. But anyway, that's really
is that
funny.
Not Your Day?
It might be. I was gonna familiarize myself with the song title so I knew what the hell I was talking about, but
It doesn't
it's really
matter.
cool because like that's a cool, like it's like like the B-52s, like Love Shack.
Yeah.
Like someone just starts talking in the middle of the song, you're like, this is great.
I think it might be What Makes a Man.
Oh yeah, it is
Maybe
what
it's What's
makes
Making
Man.
Man. Okay.
Yeah, because well, she joined in the middle of the pandemic. Like we had most of that album done before she joined. Like we had like 2 or 3 songs where we were like not set on, and then like we went to the studio that February before everything got shut down, and then it got shut down, and then our kids are friends,
Right.
so we would start, we would hang out with the kids and this and that, and like, and we ended up like she was going to be a guest vocalist on one of the songs, and she came and did the vocals, and I was like, hey, can you do some ad libs to some other shit? That was one of them. What Makes a Man was one of them, and then and it just worked out from there. Like it's okay. Let's restructure these songs to like have her fit in as much as she can. That makes sense. Don't like don't force it, but like
Everybody has to consent to it.
Yeah, everyone has to consent to it, but like make sense of it. Where it's like, okay, well, we can't redo this whole song, but we can have her do backups and like add some snarky lines, or hey, this song could use a better second verse, or whatever the case may be. But now it's all different.
Yeah.
Like, this new record.
Yeah, I don't like putting things in like whatever, like a songwriting box or whatever, but I'm struggling to try to tell stories with music and songwriting, and I can't. I put writer's block as one of my little topics.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to write the most epic kick-ass shit ever. This would be like, Tenacious D, just like the craziest, like I want to do that. Maybe I should try to just commit to doing that. But I'm listening I listen to my own music. I'm not obsessively, but storytelling is so important. Like just tell a story, and you have the interaction of like that way you collaborate on a song is going to make it makes it interesting to listen to.
Yeah, and it's good. It's cool. It's getting weirder too, because like we're doing like now, like we're actually coming into this our next record as a full group. Adding Jess last year, and now like this our new EP is like fully done by the core, the core of the band, not just like, hey, this is where you could fit. This might be what be good. It's like, no, you were here from the start. We had these cool ideas, and it's fucking brilliant.
Well, I know because I'm there. But one thing that I like to think about is whenever I like really like want to sit down and think about things I want to say, like don't make it like, you can make it personal, but don't make it so personal. Like it can't be like, this is my specific situation and
like
somebody
Vigil.
Right. Well, that's okay. Because you're the man and men rule all. But no, I just think that, like think about things that are loose ideas. And I know.
Or what? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Or what?
Think about things that are like loose ideas. Like
whenever I
write things and I make them like so personal and so specific, it's like, well, this is going in my Post-it note drawer.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's okay. We were talking about Tom Waits.
Yeah.
For some reason, I categorize Tom Waits and John Prine. I mean, my Jonathan, who plays the drums on some of my recordings, he loves John Prine. And then John Miller, who also recorded some of my music. Well, he actually recorded most of it except one song. Loves Tom Waits. And they're great storytellers. And not only that, their lyrics are filled with that like ambiguity, but it's also like relatable. It's this like balance the funny thing is, like, for me, I loved writing. I mean, I feel like I'm academic in a sense that I went to a 4-year liberal arts college and went to Pitt for part-time business classes. But I always liked writing, and And the thing is about the songs I've written to be kind of self-depreciating about them, I'm like, they're very like, they're descriptive, but I can do better. So I'm thinking about them in a way like, okay, well, I should probably be more either generate a clear vision of what I want to say in a song. And it's challenging. And I'm like, wait, I mean, I could sit here and say that that's what I want to do, but I should write down stuff every day and start to assemble ideas. I think it's like the practice of writing and using that muscle to write, you know, lyrics. And
it is hard to use the muscle to write lyrics, like, but if you have some tape, like,
yeah, tape.
Yeah, you
Or-
put the pen on
Or,
and then
or like a rubber band and like a popsicle stick.
yeah. It makes it easier.
I get it.
We're very highbrow here.
We're very, very grown up.
Well, okay, what if I said like, what about like texting and shit? I hate texting people. Like, why am I saying?
Were you fucking calling people? You're my nightmare.
No, I love calling people.
Why?
I don't want to be like
talk on the phone.
writing all these like weird half formulated phrases, and I'm like, what the hell does this even mean? Like, I'm somebody that'll write something out in a text, and I'll just put like ... I'll be like, okay,
Yeah.
this is like my first idea, and then I'll just do dots, and I'll be like, okay, this is a second idea, dots.
I love it because
It's
you can
not-
never tell tone.
Yeah. It's upsetting.
I'm like,
I love
I'm
that.
getting like these "how are you" texts, like, and it's fine, but I can't have a conversation through text unless I really, I mean, this is like a personal issue, but unless I really know the person, like, I just struggle. I'm like, well, what the hell? I mean, you can just text somebody endlessly and it's fine. There are people I just text all the time. There's no point to texting them though. I'm not trying to convey a message. It's just whatever random bullshit is going on.
I want to know what you're thinking about this moment, and if I don't know, I'll just die. Tell me.
And then, oh,
That's
right,
how
me
I
right
feel.
now? Me right now? Oh, okay.
Just kidding.
Yeah, like,
We text a lot.
I know. I've like text buddies, and I feel like it should be the whole text from the beginning of the pandemic to now. It should be like I want to like figure out a way to export it and just have it as this kind of scroll, and it could be put like in a museum or something, and be like, this is what these two idiots talked about.
It was like a fucking life-changing, like the world just and you're like, are you thinking about like maybe we should make our own lubricant as a band? And it's like, yes, we should.
You
Here's
should.
an idea for the label.
That wasn't over a text. That was in the studio.
Oh, can I throw out a question?
Yes.
This is coming from like the Steve-O podcast. I recommend. I was listening to it today. Whatever it and this podcast too. This episode.
I recommend this specific podcast that we're on. But go ahead.
So, if you're gonna sell merch as a band on Hates Unicorns Band, you would go straight to lubricant. That would be the first thing.
No,
I'm not
we had,
judging.
we had condoms and coloring books first,
We did.
Okay.
and now we're going to the lube. We're going to snail gel.
Okay, great.
It's happening.
It is happening. Even if nobody
Do you have like
wants it.
scientists? Like, how do you develop like? No, just kidding.
No, I used to.
Spit and vomit.
It's not going to be spit and vomit. What I'm going to do is because it's going to be water-based lubricant, which is not spit. I used to work at the adult bar, and we're going to do body safe things in case for some reason you're like, hey, I went to a God Hates Unicorn show and I got this lubricant. I'm going to put it on my vagina. It's like, if you're going to do that, kudos. I mean, I guess you're just throwing anything on there.
Take a photo and send it to us. We'll put it on our website.
Take a photo.
Well, okay.
But we'll get like some lowish end water-based that's like not super body unsafe, and then we'll just make the labels and we'll just pour it in and we'll be like, here's your free lube, enjoy.
That's beautiful.
For our pleasure.
It will certainly
For our pleasure.
I mean, what I want to say to that, that's a great idea. The Steve-O advice, merchandising, whatever, for whatever it's worth, is the first idea is your best idea. So what he was talking about was like hot sauce. So he's like, oh, well, yeah, I love hot sauce. His friend was like the real businessy guy. And he's like, you talk about hot sauce all the time, or like whatever it was, condoms, practicing safe sex. That's important as well.
We have condoms.
We do.
I'm a little shy, so I just like out of my wheelhouse, but the idea is great because it's your first idea, and then it's like it just makes sense now. Like, well, what I do, I don't know. I need to be more like extra. I need to be out there more, and I don't know what
our first idea was actually unicorn dildos.
But that's too expensive. Like, if your first idea is too expensive, because I'm not gonna put something out there that's not like
that has to be quality.
Dildo,
That has to be
then
quality.
it has to be something you can put in your body and not like be worried about. And like, I don't have the kind of money for that. Nobody has.
We can make them ourselves, like Party has.
I was just at CVS, and there's a whole like section of lube there.
But that lube's fine, I guess.
It's not unicorn lube. It's not snail gel.
It's not snail gel. But no, but half the lube at CVS is like, it's like, do you want a petroleum-based lubricant? Do you want a silicone-based lubricant? It's like fucking made of sand. Like, you gotta think about the things that you're putting on your privates.
I would do candles. I would have to do I have a candle here.
Are you dripping?
My own scent. Like this is a candle.
Okay.
It would be Reliable Child candles.
Okay, that's your product. I thought you were saying that was something that you would put on your privates. No. Reliable Child candles. That's really nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty particular. I mean, this one smells like, it's called like winter spice or something, and I'm like, I mean, I don't want to. I live alone. Whatever. I don't want to put myself too much in a box here, but like,
we like being in boxes.
I would turn into like a grandma, I'd have like, peppermint or whatever.
Oh, but
candy cane scented candles in here.
You can make those. That's a thing you can do.
I like it.
I like it too. I like it so much. Let's make candles.
We're making candles.
Yeah, we'll make candles for Reliable Child.
We can't put them on our privates though.
Well, we can, specifically you and I.
Okay, we could put them on our privates, but like, it's not recommended.
No, don't do that if you're a different person.
Yeah, if you're a different person, don't do that.
If you're us specifically,
just put them on your private.
I love it. I love the idea.
I like this idea. I think that's really nice.
It's like wax lips.
Wax lips.
Those are good.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
I mean, your EP or your album is called No Glory Holes in Heaven. I mean, possibilities are really endless.
Oh yeah. And we're actually getting less offensive.
No, we're trying to ramp it up.
No, I like it. You should go. I mean, I think what we're saying here, I mean, I could be overstating this, but it's just to go with what you get out there and kill it.
Get out there and fucking kill it. Exactly.
Would you like to be the fourth member of our sex cult?
Oh, yeah, sure.
You're single. It's fine.
That's good.
Good.
Great.
Yay.
Thank you for having me.
Right now, it's just me, Jess, and Johnny Razorblade.
Yeah.
I don't know Johnny. Is he in your band?
No, he's our
producer.
engineer.
And
Okay, cool.
And producer, and
when he said yes, Johnny, you said yes.
you can't back out now, buddy.
I'm in.
No, I think Jeff Fieldhouse is also in.
Oh yeah, Jeff Fieldhouse is in.
Yes.
We have 5 now. I'll do.
Oh, did you say Jeff Fieldhouse?
Yeah.
He's
My
in-
ears perked up. I talked to Jeff, and I'm not two timing here, but I tentatively have a plan to sit down with Jeff in the next week or so to do his podcast.
Listen to us. If your episode is better than ours,
You're
Your seat, no, he's still in. He's still in, but his seat is lower.
Yeah, he's on the second
I'm-
tier.
This is encouraging that Jeff, I love comedy. I'm not,
Yes,
I
we
don't
love
say
him.
I'm not funny or I could work on my humor, but
Oh my
I
gosh,
admi-
shut up.
I admire, he's a comedian, I love it. I think
He's great.
I've tried comedy and anybody that would want to try it, I think it's to try to do stand-up comedy is like, terrifying but it's a cool experience.
Yeah,
But I appreciate it more now. It's like,
yeah. Well, Jeff,
Second tier, buddy, if you fucking are better.
so
Which
fuck
you
it
will
up.
be, because we
Of
suck.
course, we're like a garbage band. Anyway,
I think you're giving me too much credit. I don't know what I mean. I'm enjoying myself. I'm really happy.
I'm
you guys.
I'm
this is
having a great time.
this is a good interview. And
It is. And reliable child. Jesus Christ, thank you so much for being here. This was a great interview.
Thank you so much for having me on. And I feel like we covered a lot of territory. If you want, we could do. If the band is out there, or not. I'd love to talk more about anything we talked about.
Yes, I would love that too.
I want to say I feel good. I feel good about this.
Yes.
And you guys are cool. And that's not like kind of an awkward thing to say, but I think it's cool that the little Instagram world that I sort of swim around in, you guys, that the world's connected and that we could just chat like, and share our ideas on topics that are just like, I think important to talk about. It's pretty wild, actually. I appreciate it.
I do too. Oh, that is the one good thing about this new future, is that it connects people in ways that they would never be connected before.
And I'm going to go to the show on the 19th.
Oh my God, please do. It was so much.
There was one, I go to a lot of the shows and that's my thing. I go to Thunder all the time. I feel like I just love going to see live music. There was a show I was going to go to, and for some reason, last minute, I couldn't make it, but God Hates Unicorn show, but I will be there on the night.
Yeah, it's gonna be a masquerade. If you don't have a mask,
Okay.
we'll have them provided.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a Valentine's
mean,
masquerade. It's
yeah.
gonna be like,
Sweet.
so make sure your underwear is washed.
Wash your underwear before this one, because somebody
definitely
must have
will.
seen it.
You're gonna have to wash afterwards. So
You're definitely gonna have the one. Oh.
Hey, Kativo's the best. Is it going to be upstairs or downstairs?
downstairs.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep. Us, Sierra, and Yak.
Sweet. I feel like a barnacle on the wall of like all these places, but I saw a lot of cool shows there, and I love Kativo, like the basement. It's cool that they're still open,
Mhm.
Yes. They were like up for sale for a second, but you're not a barnacle.
Yeah, I
You're
am.
like fucking, no, you're not. You are your own entity, and if you're anything, what are these like little spiny, like a little?
That's a barnacle.
No, that's a sea urchin.
Sea
You're
urchin?
a fucking sea urchin. You're not stuck to a goddamn wall. You're rolling around, fucking hitting anything you see, like with your
I like sea cucumbers. They're cool. Cucumbers.
Yeah, they're weird.
Yeah, they're kind of cool.
They are kind of cool.
But thank you for coming on today.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. This has been so awesome. Let's do this again.
Yes.
Sweet.
And Reliable Child, all of the links. There's going to be links to all of your stuff, and then also resources like
Yeah, we'll put
Fuck
some resources out there for people to get help if they need it.
and don't be afraid to fucking need it. We all need it.
I think that's the takeaway here. I love it,
Yes.
and I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And
We're just gonna put your phone number there. So
No, that's the resource.
You're the
It's your
resource.
personal-
you can put my you can put my license plate out there too if you want.
Call Mike. Here's his social security number, his phone number, and everything.
Honda
No.
HRV. I don't know. Whatever. Different story for a different day.
And we will have a different day. But thank you so much. We can't wait to check you out soon. And
Nice talking. All right.
talking.
Have a good one.
Toodaloo.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
How's it going?